Hello everyone, this is Noah, and today I'd like to talk a little bit about the idea of proper or correct bunkai versus interpretive bunkai or creative bunkai. There are some people out there who like to stick to a specific set of rules with their kata analysis. And if an application that they see doesn't fit their rules, they immediately discard it, say that it's incorrect, it can't possibly be an application for that sequence in the kata, and they completely discard it. And then there are people who don't look at any rules necessarily. They just sort of go with whatever feels right, kind of looks like the movement, it's close, it's similar, and they'll use that as their application. And these two sides don't tend to get along very well. The more creative or interpretive side tends to think that the other side is too strict and too formal and restrictive. The side that prefers the rules and the very specific set of guidelines tends to think that the creative people don't have a deep enough understanding of karate, and that they don't really have applications that fit what the kata was intended to do. To a degree, in my mind, both sides have points. The way that we do things in our dojo is actually somewhat in between. So we do have guidelines that we follow for the most authentic, most likely original applications for a sequence in kata. Now, we've had to fill in some blanks, of course. There's been knowledge lost over the generations, and we don't really know for sure what the originally intended applications were. So we have to kind of use the knowledge that we have and the guidelines we have to try and find techniques that make sense. But we also have that creative or interpretive side. So while we have these guidelines, we follow them and try and find original or close to the original applications for a sequence, we also like to be open-minded enough to explore those movements. What happens if we go ahead and ignore that guideline or this rule, and that gives us more options to play with? And this allows you to sort of explore your karate in a more personal way. If you're always following these exact guidelines, you're much more likely to sort of stop looking at your karate. You're going to say, oh, well, I found the thing that I need, and so I'm done. But if you're open to the idea of exploring a little further, you can actually find some really interesting material that you didn't realize was there. Now, it may not be the original application, it may not even be close. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's completely invalid. There are a lot of things that you can find through this exploratory process that can benefit you as a martial artist.